PSA, God Pack, WOTC, Thick Stamp, what do they actually mean? Well, let's find out. Here are some popular Pokemon collection terms and what they actually mean. Make sure you watch until the end, as there may actually be some terms you haven't heard of yet. The first term is centering. You may be watching some YouTubers and they pull an amazing card and go, wow, the centering's off. Centering refers to how central the main part of the Pokemon card is. A good way to tell if your card is off-center is by looking at the borders. If one border is slightly larger than the other side, then that's a pretty good indication that your Pokemon card is off-centered. In some cases, your Pokemon card might be so off-centered that if you sent it in to get graded by PSA, which we'll get to in a little bit, then your card actually might be labeled with an OC mark, which stands for off-centered, or even an MC mark, which stands for miscut. You see, Pokemon cards are printed on massive sheets and then cut afterwards, and sometimes the cards aren't aligned properly, and this is how we get off-centered and miscut cards. Although it's important to note, if you get your card graded and it does receive an MC or an OC grading mark, then these are actually very valuable to some collectors. But in general, if your card is slightly off-center, this will probably negatively affect its final grade and hence its total value. Which brings us on to our next point, grading, more specifically PSA. PSA stands for Professional Sports Authenticator and is widely accepted as the market leader for grading cards. You can recognize a PSA card by its red border on the label and obviously the PSA logo. You can recognize a PSA card by the red border on the card at the top on the label and also the PSA logo on the back. Our next term is print lines, and print lines are factory lines left on the holographic section, usually holographic section, on a Pokemon card. This isn't something caused by the person opening the packs, this isn't a scratch, it's known as a print line, which is caused by an issue back at the factory. Our next term is whitening, and whitening simply means just white sections on the edges and corners of a Pokemon card. This is common if you're buying cards that are previously played with. The more you play with a Pokemon card, the higher chance it has to obviously be whitened. It's just general wear and tear. But in some cases, if you pull a Pokemon card from a booster pack, this can also have whitening. It just depends on the print run. WOTC. WOTC stands for Wizard of the Coast. That's a mouthful. Wizards of the Coast was responsible for translating and distributing Pokemon cards from the year 1998 to 2003. On October 1st, 2003, Wizards of the Coast license was transferred over to the Pokemon Company by Nintendo. Our next term is Shadowless, and Shadowless refers to only one set in the Pokemon trading card multiverse, I guess, which is the base set. Base set has three different variants: the first edition base set, the Shadowless base set, and the unlimited base set. First edition is recognized by the first edition stamp on the Pokemon base set card, and the unlimited base set is recognized by the little drop shadow on the right hand side of the image of the Pokemon card. And you guessed it, Shadowless refers to that lack of shadow. It's also worth noting that all first edition base set cards are also shadowless. The next term is God Pack, and God Packs actually stem from or originate from Magic the Gathering. And God Pack is what the name suggests. It's a pack or a booster pack that contains only rare cards. I'm actually still yet to pull one of these, but it's only a matter of time. The next term is Thick Stamp, and this refers to the first edition marks on base set cards. It actually refers to the width of the 1 on the first edition mark. This usually makes the card more desirable by collectors, as it usually indicates an earlier print run of the card. The next term is Swirl, so you might be searching through eBay looking at Pokemon cards, and the listing notes that the Pokemon card is a swirl. This usually means that on the holographic section of the card there is a visible swirl, and this doesn't really mean much, it's just more desirable by collectors because it looks pretty cool. And the final term is Heavy Pack, and this literally means that the pack is heavier than the average weight of that pack. This usually indicates that inside this specific pack there is a chance to get a holographic card, as the holographic section of a Pokemon card weighs a little bit more, so obviously you can weigh the packs and figure out which packs actually have these rare cards inside. So there we have it, those are my top 10 collecting terms for beginners. If you didn't know any of these, give the video a like, and if you did know all these but have some terms that you think might be helpful to the community, leave them in the comments below, and it might help some people out. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.